The main reason why we have the highest disparities in the state of Minnesota for homelessness, for poverty, for health concerns, education, employment, is because of the prevalence of historical trauma that most people feel like was, oh, so long ago, so just get over it kind of a thing. But what people don't really know is that the boarding school era, which was designed by the government to take away Native children from their parents and place them somewhere else. Children were stripped of their culture, they were stripped of their language, their beliefs, everything that they've known, not to mention the emotional and physical and sexual abuse that had occurred in those things. That boarding school era lasted until 1980s. So it's not that long ago. It's very present. It means that we have grandparents and parents right now who are trying to raise children who were potentially in boarding schools and doing the best they can, but they lost their language and they lost their culture and who they are as Native people. And so now they're trying to raise children themselves, and we're finding that these youth do not know their language or their traditions or their culture or who they are as young Native people.
Minosidoon Ain Dah Yung is a fantastic partnership, and for PPL it really falls into line with a long history we've had of partnering with other community organizations and bringing the best of what we do as a housing developer in partnership with a community organization that really brings the best of what they do. And in this case, that's really critical services for homeless youth in the Native community. So this was a fabulous partnership. We've been at it, I think, in one way or another for close to a decade with Ain Dah Yung. So really wonderful organization and really wonderful partnership.
The cultural support aspect was really unique to me. In our other supportive housing projects, we connect residents to services, to whether it's educational, employment, mental health. But in this case, there was this cultural aspect, and our service providers, the Ain Dah Yung Center, recognize that the youth coming from this background suffer more than just the trauma of being homeless on the streets. So that was really unique and enlightening for me, and the amount of care and thought that went into building this project to serve those needs was really amazing.
It's really imperative that our young Native people first have an opportunity to strengthen or reestablish a sense of Native identity and pride in what it really means to be American. And it's then that we can say, okay, now let's talk about education. Now let's talk about workforce goals. Minosidoon Ain Dah Yung, this building here was built solely for that premise, with the activities center, cultural activities center, and the gallery that we are sitting in now, where youth can display their work and their art. We have a sweat lodge, on-site medicine place where kids will learn how to plant medicines and harvest our medicines. We heard kids when we first started leasing up back in November tell their friends that you so need to get over here and do it quick, because this is home. This feels like us.
It's so spacious. It got racks and everything.
We did the groundbreaking, Deb Foster talking about how important voice is in community, and this is a wonderful statement of Native voice. So we're thrilled with that partnership and really excited to bring a strong Native presence right here on the Green Line in St. Paul, in the heart of St. Paul, for an organization that's been serving this community literally for decades.
We have a very exciting campaign that we are embarking on, and it's called the Minosidoon Campaign, which means in Ojibwe, put in a good place. We just came out of a $17.5 million capital campaign in just 2 years, and of course resulted in this beautiful building that are now our young people get to call home. And so now it's about making sure that our youth, our young people, and our young adults are continuously put in a good place so that they can continue to grow and work towards self-sufficiency and independence. And I wanted to make sure that all of our buildings, all of our programming, our staffing, and our young people for 3-4 years down the road will be sustained and be able to continue to do the great work that they're doing.
Our Minosidoon campaign has a goal of $500,000 within the next year.
This is just a few days before our 1-year anniversary for Ain Dah Yung, and so we really hope that you'll open your hearts and join us in becoming a partner in making sure that all of this beauty and wonderful opportunities for our young people continues for years to come. Thank you, Miigwech.